tell me what that moment was like for you yesterday, throughout the game, to know that it was, you, Jennifer, Sarah out there and just kind of making history.
Yeah, it was a really cool moment. I think for us all, it was a chance to reflect too, kind of just on how our journeys have been and all of the things that we've gone through to get to this point. To be able to step out on the field and have representation in almost every facet of what was happening on the field is a really cool feeling, because that's what it's really about. We've been seeing things over the past few years of singular representation by teams, which has been phenomenal to see as a bunch of new teams jump on board and hiring females and buying in on diversity and inclusion. But for there to be total representation, I think, was just a whole new pinnacle for, really this goal and this mission that we've had to change the way the sidelines look in the NFL.
Yeah, and it's nice sometimes not to feel so alone in what you're trying to do and accomplish, right?
No doubt.
What is it about Kevin? I mean, I see you guys coaching together out there. I see the, sort of the synergy between you. What is it about him that kind of makes him special? And why are you guys kind of just like hitting it off and working so well together?
He's a great leader in so many ways. And I think sometimes when people say that about head coaches, it's so general. But for me, like, his leadership style is, he's engulfed in all the facets of what we do. He's not above the things that we have to do. He wants to be involved in every part of what we do as a coaching staff. His communication style, I think, especially you're no stranger to just how great of a communicator he is. He's clear, he's concise, and he makes, you feel appreciated and necessary in the conversations that he has. He's constantly teaching. And I think that's important too. Instead of just like, hey, this task, I like it done this way. It's more so like, let's walk through why, let's walk through why this is important, how this helps us out, long term. And he's a bigger picture person. So to me, he just has a ton of characteristics that make him somebody that you want to learn from, somebody that you do learn from, even if he realizes he's teaching or not. And he's definitely made me more detail oriented as well, which I very much so appreciate. But yeah, I just think as a person, as a leader, as a coach, he's somebody that you want to engage with, you want to learn from. He just has such a great positive energy about him.
Here you are out there hands-on coaching. And I think it's important that people see that. And just how important of a role that you really have, and how they, Kevin really lets you dig in there and be so hands-on. So talk to me a little bit about that and your tight spirals and how the players respond to all that.
Yeah, it's awesome. In our early conversations about what this role was going to be, he really said to make it as big or as small as I wanted to make it. And that was awesome to me, because there was a lot that I wanted to get involved with, and also staying involved in the football side of it, even though, it's like you're running around with your hair on fire most of the week from the operational standpoint. But staying involved in the football side of it was really important to me in our early discussions. And he said, do it however you can. And, so for me, it was kind of just trying to find out, where could I contribute on the field. And Coach O'Shea and I also established a really good rapport early on. And, I sit in his office, watch film with him, and do a bunch of things as it pertained to the receivers. So I gravitated over there and just, started throwing with them and being able to coach and build a relationship with the guys in that group as well, which was awesome. And they love it. They joke too about one of the quality control coaches who was there before, and that they prefer my arm. So I'll take that. But yeah, no, and I think being able to do that too helps you establish a relationship with the players. You're not just standing on the sidelines directing traffic. You're involved in their drills, and their drills are what helps set them up for success on Sunday. So if you can be somebody who's involved in that process for them, they gain a lot of that out of it. The relationship gains a lot out of that. So I enjoy getting as much interaction with the guys as possible. I work tirelessly to set things up so that things are easy and smooth for them. And then I like to enjoy that with them once it's out there. So that's kind of what that is for me. And I really enjoy being able to do it. One of the biggest things about being in this position is understanding that it's bigger than myself. And something that I constantly remind myself of, that none of this matters if you don't send the elevator back down. None of this matters if you're not finding ways to change the dialogue even further. With all of this going on, it reminds me that when I was, a young girl who loved football so much and loved a lot of things, I didn't see female representation in those things, and it changed what I thought was possible. I mean, it's hard to admit that, but that's the truth, and it's the thing that we say: if she can see it, she can be it, and that's exactly right. Like, for young girls to tune in like they did on Sunday and see female representation in all of the football facets of the game. There was a bunch of it's heartwarming to know that there was a bunch of young girls around the country who looked at their parents and said, I want to be a football coach, I want to be a football referee. Like, that happened, and that's awesome to think about. So continuing to do things like that, where it changes the mind of young girls who want to do something maybe that they consider unconventional, and telling them, no, it's not unconventional, it's possible, and if it's what you want to do, you should do it. I want, before all of this happened, we had a couple things lined up, going to schools and going to some of these youth sports groups and talking to, I've been reached out to by people who have young girls who are playing in some of the football leagues around here. So I will definitely be on the community, helping change the dialogue for the young girls, and also hopefully changing the dialogue for the young boys that are around them too, because they also live in that atmosphere, and they will grow up to be decision makers who can make positive decisions for diversity and inclusion. And I want them to see that it is normal and it is okay, and it is welcomed. And I think creating great allies for women in sports and women in society is just as important as making sure that the women know that they can do it as well. Having allies around them, having them feel comfortable and supported, is equally important as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, and I can tell you that there were at least 3 female sports writers up in the press box looking down on all of you guys yesterday. The 3 of you, you, Jennifer, and Sarah, and we were very, very happy for you. We were proud to see it. We were excited to be part of that historic moment, and we cannot wait to see what the future brings.
Thank you so much.